Okay, I don't have time to wait on uh, people to get in. Peace, Lokeo. Early bird gets the worm. So, okay, I'm trying to organize this in my head. I need to get it out. The evolution of melanated skin. I need to say this because I think this is some profound stuff right here. I just think it's important to flesh this out. No pun intended. In 1968, after Martin Luther King was assassinated, black people rioted in several metropolitan cities around the country. And they brought in James Brown to perform. I think it was in LA maybe. And the clip shows him say it loud, I'm black and I'm proud. And it helped to usher in a new consciousness of being proud of this skin that for so often we had been made to feel like was a detriment. Now we unfortunately have not moved in a large number of us beyond that mindset. When I was a child, and I'm very thankful for this because a lot of people didn't even have this much. My father was about my complexion, or maybe a little darker. And he would hold his hand out and he would show me, he would be wearing, he had a signet ring that he wore, and he eventually got another one, but he would show me the signet ring and he would say, you see how that gold looks up against that black skin? It looks good, don't it? And I always remember that, and took pride in my complexion. That was a great foundation that was poured for me because I didn't have to overcome self-hatred. It was a foundation for me to arrive at this next horizon of understanding that we've got to go to. And I'm going to show you an example of how we know we're behind as far as understanding goes. I've often mentioned the character of Superman and his outfit. The colors of his outfit are red, yellow, and blue. Those are the three primary colors, and when you put those together, they make brown. Okay, I think it's Sleeping Beauty. If you take, I think her little dress is yellow, blue, and red. There's a little kids movie on Netflix called Coraline, and Coraline wears a yellow raincoat, little red boots, and little blue pants. And Snow White wears the okay, bet. Peace, Sister Maud. But that color combination is very that's not chosen by happenstance with these characters. That was Khazar filmmakers and storyboard creators were talking about the people who wear this. Now, the next horizon we got to go to, and I understand is understanding this. This is a suit. That's one of the best things Superman could have ever taught you. He puts on his uniform, his suit. This is a suit. It's a uniform. And what it does is, we know that more than likely, if you have a suit that looks like this, you have an ability to taste flavors better. You have an ability to feel the vibration of music better. You have the ability to move your body differently, whether it's faster, more agile, or jumping higher. All these things come along with wearing the suit. And all you need is a drop of the dye that creates this suit. A drop of the dye in your suit, and you have access to these powers. Now here's the trick. Here's the trick. If a group of elite individuals understood this information at least 100 years ago, and we're just kind of now arriving at a sense of pride in the suit, then you got to realize how far behind we are, because we're not actually getting into why you wear the suit. See, our mentality has been locked into, if I see somebody who's wearing a suit similar to mine or a uniform, then I've been led to believe that we're supposed to form a cohesive network together because we wear a similar looking suit. That's not necessarily the case. The suit, one of the other attributes of the suit is that it gives you the ability to endure more. Being the first creatures that walked on the planet, you had to have a suit that could endure the environment that was around you. Literally a toxic, radioactive environment. Now, to put it in more abstract concepts, you had to have a suit that could endure, did I say more or less? I mean less abstract concepts. You had to have a suit that could endure pain and suffering. That's why they say black don't crack and so forth, because the suit was developed for you to be able to withstand pressure. You look at all the superheroes, you know, they have some mad scientist who helps them develop their suit, and this suit can withstand a certain amount of trauma that happens to it. Now, problem is our consciousness has gotten locked into pride in the suit instead of understanding that the suit would give you the ability to endure long enough to illuminate yourself while wearing the suit. See, most people are still we got to find out a way to improve the lives of us who wear this suit. And we're missing what the suit was designed for. The suit was not necessarily designed for us to have a better life. The suit in its ultimate creation was made for you to endure. That's why the people who wear this suit are synonymous with feces, with cockroaches. And see, now you may think, now I done lost my mind. But I want you, I'm a creative person, and it allows me to think outside the box. Feces gets its color for something called bilirubin. Bilirubin. Whenever you see Billy, Billy is the same as Philly. Philly, the love of color. That's how you get this this hue in the skin, just like you get hue in your feces. The roach. One of the things I don't front, if you, let me put this code in. If you ever had some cockroaches, you know them some hard motherfuckers to kill right there. It's hard to kill off some cockroaches. And part of it is because of their very tough exoskeleton. And what color is that exoskeleton on that roach? Similar to that. So, the suit gives you the power to endure. What we're losing out on, a lot of us, is we put so much effort into trying to figure out a way to improve what the suit was only giving you the power to endure. Now, I'm not saying that you can't enjoy a better life, but you got to understand how crafty the people are who were so advanced that they developed a character called Superman in the 1930s, I think. Where do you think their studies have gone? So our mind is still in the idea of collectively, how we're going to collectively change the lives of those who wear suits like these, or different shades, different shades of the suit. How we're going to make it better, when the suit was never really designed for unity. I'm sorry to say. All you read about through mythology is people. If these people are so ancient that they're before creation as we know it, then it has to be people, or not creation as we know it, or certain races as we know them. Then that means it could have only been calamities, fighting, and issues between people who all were wearing the suit. Mythology is so deep. There are so many lessons that are housed in reading these stories. You got to really, really, really keep coming back to them and really open your mind up and study. They're telling you a lot of stuff in there. So even the thing that happened with Bill Cosby, you know what's so crazy? I done thought about this. And the thing that happened with Meek Mills and all that, and the guy on Waffle House. Do you know what one of the greatest conspiracies is? Is to try to get you to unify through seeing somebody who wears a suit like yours. I'm telling you, I'm on some heavy shit here. I know what I'm talking about. See, you have an emotional response when you see the guy, peace Erica, when you see a guy in Waffle House who's being honored and he goes and getting awards and stuff because you see the suit. That happens to me too. What's up, Ricochet? It happens to me too. I still feel something for those who wear this suit. I'm not saying that you have to disavow that, because that's just built into your nature. But there's got to be a limit, because the key is to get you to have an emotional attachment to the suit. So when you see the brother in Waffle House, oh, look at Meek Mills, man, finally we're getting some justice. And even though this thing is all orchestrated, and then they come back and, oh, look what happens to Bill Cosby. Look at the roller coaster they take you on. You can say, oh, I don't pay attention. Get out of here with that garbage. You just so, okay, whatever. But we're talking about the real deal subconscious game here. This shit is deep. Part of the game, you think that they're trying to work against you to destroy unity. No. They know, they already know that it was never meant for that to be. One of their goals is to keep you wrapped into the idea of trying to achieve this unattainable, unreachable uh, level of this utopian unity here on earth. I'm telling you, I know what I'm talking about. Okay, Lokeo says we are part of one divine mind, though. You're exactly right. You're exactly right. But the question is, how do you get back to that one divine mind? See, that's that, and you basically just you're saying the same thing that I'm saying. One divine mind. This is what I was talking about the other day about fusion. Man, what the hell? Fusion and fission. If we're looking to go to another horizon, then in order to rejoin that, hell, I know this is the thing that in order to rejoin that one mind, then it can't be by trying to maintain what the mind created in order for itself to get the training that it needed to rejoin itself. Am I making sense? Man, I'm trying to figure out why the hell my damn lock ain't working. I'm at this storage center. I don't know if I'm doing this shit right. So the evolution of melanated skin then would be to get to the point of focusing more on using the suit than trying to exhaust ourselves on trying to find a way that we can create this utopian reality. That's the one of the great tricks. You know, keep them searching for something that's outside themselves. Erica says it's all an individual journey back to the divine. It truly is. Now, let me give you the flip side of that. That is not to say that we cannot, in small groups, work together. Because otherwise I'd be a contradiction of myself. I have a little something where, people come together and things of that nature. Hell, we're working together right now. Hold on. This motherfucker. This is a form of us working together now and coming together in a form of unity. But it's unity, and it's unity based on understanding. This mug is, I don't know about this. Unity based on a shared, what's the word I'm looking for? A shared desire to know more. Let me see here. Lokeo said, I read that the book also and never really got the point of why they went from FDR Holy Grail mission to Aton. Oh, great. I'm glad you read it. Well, now I want you to think about that. You said, I read that book, Atomic Christ, also, and never really got the point of why they went from FDR Holy Grail mission to basically, you're talking about the atomic nuclear where they built the stacks and made the first nuclear bomb. That's what you're talking about, right? Excuse me. I know y'all like, damn, Captain Big face all up in the screen. I should have brought my selfie stick on y'all's ass. The point of that, Lakeo, was that that's a great secret. That's basically giving up right there. It's that the true essence of your suit of the suit is that it houses a nuclear weapon. That's what truly wearing the suit is that you are in possession of a very powerful tool, if you want to use that terminology. This is all the stuff they figured out. And we're talking about, this is World War II, 1930s, 1940s. It's what they already knew. So then you go back and look at all the different programs and groups and things we've been through, and you wonder, well, why had they allowed these things? Because, and you know, Bobby Hemming said this, you know, they ain't afraid of nothing but you fucking with some magic. And the thing, my understanding, Brother Jamal is not gonna have, so let me quit sounding like these egomaniacs. My understanding, the way I use it, is it's really about the state of mind I can put myself into. And the confidence that I can have in that state of mind, you know? You know, where you go and pay your rent with $2 in your account. You know, most people would never even try to do that because they would think, see, the limitation is I only have $2. I can't afford to pay my rent. Well, mine is I have the fucking rent money in here. Now, mind you, they're gonna charge you an overdraft fee, but look, we ain't talking about worrying about that. To me, that's a business loan. That's a $35 interest, you know? But see, the magic is I had the audacity to even think that I could go and pay, you know, goddamn rent with $2 motherfucking dollars. See, that's talking about taking water or turning shit and turning it into sugar. You know, it's like, okay, you know, we know the hand we dealt with. We know this shit ain't fair. You know, we know this shit ain't fair. Come up off all the bootstrap shit and pull yourself up by the bootstraps. You know, no, this shit is rigged. So it comes down to us having the audacity to be imaginative. That's part of your magic right there. Shit you was doing as a child. Talking to little imaginary friends. You know, I used to imagine myself being in the football stadium and I would be like, ah, that'd be the sound of the crowd cheering for me, you know, and I would act out a whole football game in the front yard, tackle myself, you know, snap the ball, take the hike, be the quarterback, throw the ball to myself, you know, cheer for myself, tackle my ass, you know, all that. Using our imagination, you know, that's part of it. So That is more dangerous than, I'm sorry, than all these other, you know, that concept of I'm devoting my life to the development and the further upliftment of my people. That era's gone. That era's gone. And most people who are trying to promote that type of rhetoric are running a game. You know, this altruistic, you know, I'm doing this. I mean, to a degree, I mean, you know, yeah, we doing, you know, to a degree, what I do is, yeah, I want to see people grow and flourish, because it creates a greater community, whether, even if it's just 3 or 4 people, for me to just have to talk to. But for me to, there's a thin line between that and me becoming egotistical, you know, and I'm coming to save the people. I'm doing this for the people, you know, like, come on now, come the fuck on now, you know, especially somebody like me. What I look like talking about I'm gonna save some people, you know, I gotta put cardboard under my shit when I park at somebody's house because motherfucker leaking. You know, what the fuck I look like? You know, talking about I'm gonna save you. And I got 4 children. And a wife. Shit. But take your ass down the racetrack and stand around and see if you get somebody to do some day labor or some shit. You know, it's just, this is, like I say, it creates the space for us to blow our egotistical horns, you know. And part of the hustle is you got to convince people that you have been made privy to something that they haven't, which some of us have, but it's the way it's presented, as though if you don't, you know, if you don't get down with this, y'all motherfuckers gonna be assed out. Let me tell you a little secret. If one motherfucker gonna be assed out, guess what, Jack? Everybody gonna be assed out. Ain't no nigga get no, you know, you can skate pass. No. If that was what it was all about, you know, then that right there contradicts metaphysics, occult science, all in itself. You know, and then that creates the space for people to take on the personage of a messiah. Sister Zeta say the savior mentality. Exactly. That's very problematic. You know, and somebody might think I'm crazy, well, with what I'm saying, or that I'm being dismissive or copping out. But tell me where all of our efforts towards this mythical land of happiness and gumdrops, where is it paying out? How is it working? How is it working? You know, at some point, you've got to start considering something else. Something else. And you know, part of the world we live in, the great dilemma is that we're in a all or none reality. There's no balance. So it's always about, you know, you got to be a complete fanatic this way or a complete fanatic the other. You know? And there's no middle ground. Okay. I hope these people don't give my truck away. I gotta go and get this damn truck and move some stuff. Now, let's address this. Lokeo says MLK and Malcolm civil rights took us off the right. No, it didn't. Nobody has the power to take anybody off of. See, you gotta be careful, because that in itself becomes I know where you're coming from, but that in itself, if we're not careful, it's still Messiah talk. See, if we're talking about a divine drama, go back to what you said earlier, Lakeo, about all part of the divine mind. Then that means everybody has been acting out a plan, acting out a role. Even the ones right now who still are talking about they got the great plan to save black people, they're doing what they're supposed to be doing. What I'm saying is there's a small group of us who see something greater. And if you have the remote ability to even identify with what I'm saying, then that is the challenge goes forth to you to overcome that way of thinking. You know, in quantum physics, you have an endless series of events that can occur. So that means that if you are to change one series of events thinking that, well, if I just would have done this different, everything would have worked out. That's not how it works. For every small, minute, minuscule change that you make, there are series of compounding events that will happen as a result. So if there had not been a Malcolm X and Martin Luther King, we might have been in this motherfucker somewhere eating mud pies, walking on the back of our shoes, talking about yowza boss. I mean, it's very possible. So you got to take all that into account. We're dealing with the gods here. So and let's look at it this way. Ptah, the great builder. You're talking about a potter's wheel. Let's go TD Jakes on you, worth up. That motherfucker be like, worth up. Worth up. How a motherfucker blow up that big saying the word like worth up. But either way, the real potter's wheel is talking about a material that's getting formed. So even Martin Luther King, Malcolm X was playing a role in forming something. Okay? Now, instead of looking back on what they did or their misgivings, we have to understand that you being in the position you're in right now, where you can go back and reflect on a Martin Luther King and Malcolm X, it's not about what they did, it's about what you have the ability to do, being in the position of having hindsight. You've got the ability to look back at Martin Luther King and Malcolm X and assess the whole situation, to assess the great drama here that we've been thrust into, and then make your decisions on how you will keep moving this thing down the road. That's the key. Keep on moving. Because I can say, well, my daddy misled me because he taught me all about how my black skin was. No, that nigga was right. My daddy was ahead of his time, because at the time in the 70s and 80s, when he was telling me how beautiful my skin was, we had a lot of black people still walking around scooting and booting. showing all 32 teeth, you know, thinking they gonna get ahead. He was giving me game, a foundation for me to be able in May of 2018 to go to another level and to understand have a greater perspective about what this suit is that we're wearing. To go beyond the suit as a race, but just to see the suit as a fortunate suit that you've been allowed to wear inside of this time dispensation where your soul has the ability to, okay, I'm gonna give you the real jewel and I gotta go. I'm gonna wrap it up with this and I got to go. In Hebrew and Arabic, the word for salt is melek. Okay? We see in melek, we have the root male. In melanin, we have the root male. Salt gives, when you put salt on meat, salt will allow it to preserve so that it can cure. That means that the meat can age without decaying. Am somebody catching where I'm going here? Your skin is literally synonymous with salt. That's why we come out of salt water. Melek. So this suit gives us the ability to endure the traumas that come along with the seasons while we are getting seasoned. Salt is seasoning, aging. The travesty is that if you spend time seasoning and seasoned and curing your meat and you never do anything with it, you never know that meat has a final destination. That meat is supposed to supply sustenance, nutrition to people. This suit, evolution of melanated skin. I got to go, but we got to do another installment of this because I know I'm leaving it. You get up, and when you get up, stay down. Peace.